guys. So it is, what is it, Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Okay, it is Tuesday of our 5th week of distance learning. And yeah, hopefully things are going well for you. So 7th grade, you are continuing this week with your Earth Day project. So I know I wrote it a little bit differently on this week's directions than I did on last week's, but when I went, because we're doing our instructional stuff 2 weeks at a time. So I had written for you to do that Earth Day project for week 4, and then I realized it was kind of super big. There's a lot of stuff involved in it because I was trying to hit all of the standards for you about how your issue has progressed over time, and concerns about like what it is, how it works, what people can do, why is it important, all that stuff. I mean, you hopefully have read the directions, and been working on it. But so it was assigned for last week, but then I expanded it into this week. So if you didn't finish it last week, that's okay. You still have this week. If you finished it last week, excellent. And that's good for you. I had a few people turn it in, and if you did already, that's really, really great, because that means that all you have to do this week is you want to go on your virtual field trip. You have to turn in work or check into the Google Classroom or come to our grade level Zoom meeting tomorrow on Wednesday for participation, and you got to do a homework. So just read some news, do a current event, and you're good to go. However, a lot of people have been asking, do I have an example of what this looks like? They're confused about the project. And I think part of that has to do with that when I originally assigned it, it was only 1 week, so it didn't tell you there's another week of this. So if you're not watching my videos, or weren't in that Zoom chat last week, or haven't checked in with me, you wouldn't know that. You didn't know that you had extra time. So maybe you were a little bit extra stressed. But because some people are done already, I do have some student examples that I can show you. No one has done a poster or a brochure or a video, or, you can make any of those things. I want you to be creative, pick an option that's going to work for you, right? Because this is, I try and give you options all the time, because that's what we do when we do our Montessori. That's why our school has that name, is that we do hands-on explore. I can speak with words, yes. Hands-on exploring learning. So you're picking things that interest you and you're digging deeper into those things. That's really, and it's nice because I can do that with social studies a lot of times. Sometimes we have to do a specific topic, or, I have to make sure that you meet those standards for this date so that you're ready to go on to the next grade. But I can give you some options and let you pick some of your own choices in there. So that's really what I'm trying to do. We try and do it on a regular basis, but especially now with distance learning, because it helps you to be more engaged and really, want to do your work, and not sit around bored. I'm going to keep you learning. So anyway, I do have a couple of student examples that I can show you. Unfortunately, because no one did anything I can print out, they are slideshows. So I'm going to have to show you on my computer. And also, I try to usually do an example. I might do one this week if I am caught up with my other stuff, because with changing expectations, I have not put a lot of things into the into my grade book that's on the computer. So you will have noticed that in Family Link. After week 2, there's nothing in there because I came in prepared with up to week 2, and then COVID-19. So here we are. So I just want to make sure that I have those things accurate. So I'm going to work on getting that all updated for you guys this week so that you can really see where you stand as far as those things. But if I have the time, I will absolutely make an example, because I usually come into the classroom with an example, or if you guys are struggling, you've seen me earlier this year write an essay right alongside you. You know, I'm coming around and helping and supporting you, but then I'm also producing the same work that you're doing so that you can see that process, so that I am right there with you. I can see some of the challenges maybe that you're dealing with, and so that you have an example. Or I try and prepare it, you know, a week or two ahead of time, so that I have it and I'm right there, having anticipated some of those questions that you might have, and I can give you an example so that you see exactly what my expectations are. And if you have been following my videos throughout this process, you will see that when we did our United Countries Day project that I had to modify for at home, I did that. I went through the steps, and you go through the 2 weeks of that, and you can see me doing the organizer with you and building the project and showing you exactly what it should look like. So I will try and get there with you, but the problem is that we would have been doing something completely different if we were in a regular classroom. So, well, I mean, we still would have been doing that project. That one specifically was planned, but it looked very different doing it from home. And I gotta say, people picked so many different countries. I think I only got like 2 or 3 that were the same as someone else's. And I have learned so much from you guys through reading those. I really wish that we could have done the actual thing. Good news for you, because I'm talking to 7th grade right now. This is something that I plan to do with my social studies classes every year. So you'll get to do this again next year when you're in 8th grade. Yay. And we should be in a regular classroom. So we'll get to have our day where you can bring in a craft from your country, or bring in a food or some music that you could bring up on the Chromebook for everyone to just listen to a little bit, so that we'll get to actually share that culture and, you know, do that. But back to this week. Sorry, I just get so excited about that, because different countries and stuff, that's one of the things I love the most. I love that we get to do that, and I was really excited that we were going to get to do our own mini one, but it's okay, next year, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you right here, hopefully this will work. Here is our friend Kira's slideshow, and I picked hers not only because it's done, but also she did a super duper amazing job. So, I think I should be able to just click through and show you her slideshow. So she did ocean acidification. That was her topic. And then maybe, oh, she has transitions. See, I looked through her slides when I graded it. I didn't actually watch the slideshow, so I didn't realize she had nice transitions like this. So she has her basic facts here that you can see. And I really wish she could present it for you, because I know presenting is not Kira's favorite, but I also know how well she can speak about things when she's passionate about them. And you can see from looking at the effort that she put into this slideshow and her gorgeous backgrounds that this is something that she's really passionate about. So I know that hearing from her about it would have been just amazing for us. Okay. I'm sorry it's kind of glary, a little bit hard to see. So she includes history, so she's making that connection through time about her issue. And then I love this because she breaks down the process. It's not just, oh, ocean acidification is a thing. She found this graphic and included it here so that we can understand exactly what that means. So even without her talking about it, I can look at this and I can have a little bit of an understanding of what is going on scientifically. So I thought that was really fantastic. There you go. And she just did an amazing job. So now you got to see Kira's. I hate that it like flips it around. But that was one of them I wanted to share with you, and hopefully you learned something from it. I have, let's see, I only had a couple that were turned in already, and that's like I said, it's totally okay because you guys have another week. So let's see, she is in 7A, so let's look at this one. This is a 7B student, and I was super duper impressed with this one also. And actually, if you're watching this video, oh, there's my phone. I usually turn up my volume when I'm going to be making a video for you guys. Forgot today. Fixed it now. Okay. So I was super impressed with this one. I do write comments on your Google Docs, so you guys know that I liked your projects if you went unchecked. But yeah, I was really impressed with this particular one because you guys know this kid, obviously. He's in your class. And most of you guys I had last year when you were in 6th grade and I was teaching 6th grade. So I know what you guys are capable of doing, but I also know what you typically do and turn in. And this project just amazed me because it's really what I know that this student can do. And he's really been working more and more towards doing this kind of stuff. So I was just so glad to see it, that without me having to be there and remind him, because I'm sure it was probably his mom who did it. Thank you, Mom. But without me being there to check up on him and give him that guidance, and like I was talking about earlier, that I can't help you guys like I would in a normal classroom, he made a fantastic slideshow. So this is, he doesn't have his name on it, but this is Hayden's, and it's about deforestation. So we're going to click through his and see his. Uh-oh, did I not click it right? Let's go. There we are. So, I love that he talks about it, and you can tell that he has an understanding of this. It has to do with, you know, farming and grazing. And so he explains the issue for you. And again, just like the previous one we watched, he's using really fantastic photos that go along with what he's talking about, but it's still clear. So I can still read what he wrote. And he's talking about that there's human conflict as well. It's not just a human caused issue, but that there's disagreement about it. So some people think that we need to be cutting the trees down, and others are against deforestation. I thought that this was really neat. He included some interesting facts to give us an idea of the time frame that this is an issue. So that most of this deforestation actually happened not in modern times. It was, well, not necessarily modern, but you know, it's something that has been an ongoing issue for a long time. And it's very interesting if you look into it more. It's something that I have a little bit of knowledge about, but and it's something that actually affects our local community, because deforestation in Prescott, in that area, is an issue as well. And so even though he doesn't make that connection here, I like that you know, it's something that is you know, it's a world issue, but it's also a local thing. You know, it's not something that is really far away. So I thought that was good. And if you have ever hiked Thumb Butte, if you read the information plaques along the trail, they do talk about it. So, and then he's talking about here, natural disasters, obviously forest fire, that's something that applies directly to us. So deforestation doesn't just happen based on human acts, it is also caused by natural disaster. I like how he made that connection there. You can see. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So that gives you a couple of ideas of what yours might look like. If you don't want to do a slideshow, it's totally okay. You can, like I said, you can do a video, do a poster, you could do a pamphlet, a flyer, as long as you show me that you've done this, you've done the research. And like I talked to you about it last week a little bit, I want you to just show me that you have learned something new about it. So deforestation, probably something that Hayden already knew a little bit about. Like I said, it's a local issue, as well as a world issue. And so he probably had heard of it before. He didn't have to like look up what is this. But based on the way that he's talking about it and the information that he includes, it shows me that he definitely did new research, that there's something that he learned in there in order to do this presentation. So hopefully that gives you some idea of what yours maybe could look like. If you have any questions, you can send me a remind message. You can ask on Google Classroom. You can send me an email. Please ask. And it's not always helpful when you ask the other teachers. They are fantastic, but they don't teach social studies. So then they end up having to ask me, and then I have to tell them, and then they have to get it back to you. And so it takes more time, and then sometimes, it can get lost in there. So we don't want that. So if you can just ask me, that's fantastic. I will be on the Zoom call tomorrow. That's a great time and place to talk to me, because we can talk just like talk. You can be like, hey, I didn't understand this assignment. Can you clarify for me? And I'm like, oh, yeah, actually. We're in our little like picture windows here. And then like, oh, raising the hand. Yes, I think that was a great question and it really helped me out. See, it's okay. I used to teach kindergarten a few years ago. I helped that. I was in Miss Jenny's class. Okay. But anyway, point being, we can all be in our little windows and see each other. And then we can talk about it. Ask. Because you guys don't ask stuff. Last week I was in 8th grade Zoom. And no, last week. The week before. 2 weeks ago. Right? I was on the 8th grade Zoom call. All of my videos for the week were on totally the wrong subject because I had mixed up weeks 3 and 4. No one asked me about it. 0 people. And so, like, it was Thursday before I was like, oh my gosh, I am totally on the wrong week. Right? It happens, right? What day of the week is it? Like, there's all the memes joking about that right now. I was on the wrong week even, okay? So ask and I'll be like, oh man, I messed up, I make mistakes too. Just like, I'm really sorry, so sorry to all of you who I missed on Google Classroom from last week, because I took a training on it and I still am not great at it. I know some of the other teachers are assigning work through there and posting stuff, and I am just not the greatest with technology. I like old stuff. That's why I teach history, But because of that, I didn't realize that it doesn't auto reload. So I was looking at it and just thinking that no one had posted anything. And so I missed a whole bunch of messages from you guys. And I'm really sorry because that put some of you behind on your projects because you were asking for approval of your topics. Everyone who had posted approved. Great choices. I'm excited about it. And you didn't all pick the same thing, so that was really cool too. But yes, I'm so sorry about that. And I will tell you that this morning when I reloaded my browser and then it came up and I was like, oh no, there's 80 messages. Okay, there weren't that many, but there were a bunch. I did go over and reload because I have them open and you know me and my tabs, right? Look at my tabs up there. Yup, see me with all the tabs. Not as many as sometimes, but I have a separate tab for each Google Classroom. So 7A, 7B, 8A, 8B, every one of them has their own, right? So I went through, I refreshed all 4 of them, and I had 0 posts in my 8th grade one still. So unfortunate, but it happens. And that's part of why I was like, oh, well, people are just skipping social studies. Also, similar problem with my Google Docs. I think I have gotten everyone's now. I hope so. Fingers crossed. If you have sent me a Google document, a Google slide, if you have shared one with me, check it. Go back and check because it should have either on, if it's a slide, on the first slide in the speaker notes, my note to you telling you, great job! Because everyone, honestly, everyone who's turned stuff in is doing amazing. So, yeah, it's either in the speaker notes on the first slide or at the top of your document in blue. Okay? So if you don't see a comment from me there, if it doesn't say, nice work, thank you, you're amazing, I learned so much from you. Okay, any of those things. If it's not on there, send me an email. Okay? Because I missed it. And I'm really sorry because this morning I've been checking it. And for some reason I got ones from 5 people that I was getting on a regular basis, but nothing else was showing up in my recently shared to me stuff. Not at all. So suddenly stuff came up and I know that you didn't just send it to me now because it was last edited in March, some of these things. So I know that you guys, it was an 8th grader, I think, who had one from March. But I know that he turned it into me on time. I've been checking since then, almost daily. But for some reason it didn't come up. So if you don't get stuff graded within, a day and a half, then be like McKenna and have your mom send me 15 remind messages saying, hey, kind of like to have a grade for this. Sometimes you gotta dog me because I'm trying, but technology doesn't always cooperate, and sometimes life is crazy. So I'm really trying. Reach out to me, and if you don't hear back from me one way, try another one. It does take some time to get back to you, okay? So sometimes, I'm in the middle of writing a Galileo test, because I did one of those last week. Or I'm in the middle of recording one of these stupid videos for you. Or maybe I had to go hunting for toilet paper. That happened, a week and a half ago. I had to go try and find toilet paper, so I was out shopping during the day, So it happens occasionally, but I am here and I am really trying to do my best for you. I know that you guys are trying to do your best at home, so we're all going to keep working and try and be understanding, yeah. And also remember, I'm generally available during the same hours that you would be at school. I actually wake up really early, so I'm usually doing schoolwork, doing planning, doing, my essay example or this grading or trying to figure this stuff out early in the morning before we would ever be at school, because I get up that early. So I do that, and then it gives me a little bit of time so that I can, go to the grocery store, excuse me, or something, because they have the more restricted hours right now. But I will be available pretty much during those school hours, Monday through Friday. So reach out to me. I may not answer right away. Maybe I'm on a Zoom call, you know. Remember that I have my own kids that I gotta help get through some of this stuff too. So sometimes I'm over there like, why aren't you doing your homework? You need to do your homework. Just like I'm telling you guys, I got my own kids at home I'm doing that with also. So, all right. Any questions? Ask. Remember to subscribe, because then you don't have to wait for me to post it, because that happens. I forget, or, you know, I make the video and then it's taking so long to upload to YouTube that I go off and do something else, and, you know, it happens. But if you sub, there's a button down here somewhere. I don't know exactly where, because I'm not super YouTube savvy. I told you I like old stuff. But yeah, subscribe, and then it'll pop up in, well, if you turn on notifications, which you should. Yeah. And then you'd be like, oh, great, there's another, no, that's for 8th grade, don't care about that one, you know, whatever. Okay, so if you have questions, ask me. I really love hearing from you guys, I do. I miss you. Even those of you who I have trouble getting to sit in your chairs on a normal basis in 7th grade, yeah, I miss you guys too, so. Anyway, yeah, I will be checking back in with you guys again tomorrow, and we'll pick up there. Have a great day.